Top 10 Best Mini PC. Number 10. Zotac ZBO XCI 325. With a more powerful processor, and more RAM, the Zotac ZBox is ready to do the job. It boasts a 32GB SSD, and a small profile. Plus, it can output to 3 displays. This is a reliable machine from a great manufacturer. If you are willing to spend the extra couple of bucks, it's a great way to get a snappier processor with roughly the same power as some of the other minis. If you need a full Windows 10 installation, having a more powerful processor certainly helps create a smooth experience. Number 9. Minix Neo Z83-4. If you're adamant about a full Windows 10 system, then this mini PC brings a lot to the table. Boasting 4GB of RAM, this mini is good to go for up to 10 tabs of Chrome, working as a media center, and even outputs to multiple displays. Adding the extra gigabytes of RAM is probably the biggest strong point here, since this allows one to have more applications open at once. This mini PC is also capable of outputting 4K at 30 Hz, meaning for watching movies, it's a great way to go. That said, for using a workstation at 4K, 30 Hz doesn't look great. It'll serve its purpose best on a lower resolution workstation, but it should suffice for a 4K media center, given that one doesn't like that super smooth TV look at 60 Hz. Number 8. Agile Access 3 Mini PC. The Agile Access 3 Mini PC stick is the one to go with if you want the 64-bit version of Windows to run pretty well. The 4GB of RAM combined with the N3450 processor should result in a fairly speedy experience. The 64GB storage is a decent size, too. That's plenty of space for images, documents, and other smaller files. While this one is a little pricier than the mini PCs around the $100 mark, the extra power means you're going to get a much cleaner user experience. Number 7. Lavist Raspberry Pi 4. If you're after something that's a little different and more hands-on, the Lavist Raspberry Pi 4 starter kit is well worth considering. This isn't a Windows PC. Raspberry Pi kits are, generally, designed to run Linux. Not only will you be assembling everything, you'll also be downloading a free copy of Linux and installing it onto the system. In terms of power, the Raspberry Pi isn't really on the same level as Windows PCs. But for writing or playing retro games, it's an affordable alternative with a lot of customization options. Just keep in mind, this isn't going to be as straightforward as plugging it in and it'll work, so be aware of who's going to be using this and how they'll fare. Number 6. Intel NUC 7 Mainstream. If you want a robust and powerful PC for a media center and more, the Intel NUC PC brings enough power to do pretty much anything but play graphically intense games. It's an awesome business or student desktop, has enough RAM for plenty of multitasking, and with Intel Optane technology on its hard drive, loading files is faster than it would be on an ordinary drive. While this PC doesn't offer the best value on our list, sometimes it's worth spending the extra money to have a machine that runs fast and smooth with many applications open at once, or for doing things like editing photos or videos. Number 5. Intel NUC Mini PC. If we're talking about the best mini PCs, there's no way I couldn't mention this Intel NUC Mini PC. If you're after a PC to game on, this is it. The AMD Radeon RX Vega combined with a lush 8GB of RAM and a 256GB SSD means this thing will fly. Of course, if you're after something you won't need to replace for years upon years, there are a few customizable options here, with the top version maxing out at 32GB of RAM and an insane 2TB SSD. That is some top tier specs right there. Whichever version you end up getting, this is one gaming PC that mixes pure power and form factor. Number 4. Agile Quantumbyte. While the specs of this Quantumbyte are comparable to the Quantum Access Mini PC on our list, the reality is that this PC is a lot better for workstation applications. It's great for browsing the web, being used as a media player, and runs smoothly for most office or student uses. It's quiet, a solid performer, and includes a full install of Windows 10. With 2GB of RAM, one can open a handful of Chrome tabs, for instance, but don't expect the moon from this PC. For people who want a PC for video streaming or office work, it performs well. Number 3. Quantum Access Mini PC Stick. While it's a great price, one should be warned that the stick is certainly for particular applications only. Some great use cases include watching YouTube, Netflix, or Hulu videos, for outputting images to a custom display, or as a media player. For normal computer usage, however, it's a bit on the slow side. Still, if you just need the basics here, this is a mini PC that will do a few things well at an unreal price. It's not advised as a general use PC. Number 2. HP Slimline 260. The HP Slimline offers quite a big jump in performance from the minis, and isn't huge. With a much faster processor, solid RAM, and a big spacious hard drive. This is a great PC for student or office applications. If you just need a computer with a smaller profile, but don't want to sacrifice speed and functionality, this PC won't let you down. Of course, it also won't save quite as much space. It also includes a DVD drive with writing capabilities, something you won't find on any of the above models. Another nice touch, often cheap PCs have 5400 RPM hard drives. It's nice to a speedy 7200 RPM on this model. Asus Chromebox 3 Mini PC. For those who want a super-powered computing experience, the Chromebox 3 offers a lot of power. While it does not have a Windows 10 installation, just Chrome OS, the much lighter weight of this operating system means that the Chromebox is actually much more usable for web browsing than others on our list. The Chromebox is only really good for web browsing. There's a shocking amount of things one can do online, including edit Microsoft Office documents, edit photos using Pixel, and even edit videos. If you don't want to work online, there's a huge selection of apps or app equivalents on the Google Play Store to download should you need to work offline. For many, going exclusively Chrome on their desktop machine is a great way to save a ton of money, and have a PC that does what people mostly do on a PC anyway, browse the internet. This computer is the editor's choice because if you want a mini PC at a great price, this PC has better performance than any of the other very cheap minis. Windows 10 is a massive drain on system resources. This PC eliminates that, and therefore, even though it's not more powerful on paper, in practice, it's great. Check out the description for more information in latest price.